Okay, time for an update I think. This corner small tunnel is now more or less complete, though obviously there are people required up around the houses. I've added one of the small Metcalfe children's play equipment in the corner beneath the tree with blossom. And as we move down, then the area alongside the branch line as it climbs up away from the main station has now been developed. Small area there with a couple of horses, and I spent quite a bit of my time inserting line side fencing. This is LMS wooden effect, white line side fencing. The other side of the track is dry stone walling from Jarvis, and inevitably the Oxford die-cast models, creating a car park area for the station that's halfway up the branch line, which we've called Biscuiton. Had a couple of signs given to me for my birthday by my daughter, and they are created bespoke by a small company called Tinker's Models. Daughter found it on Etsy, though I think they have their own website where you can just give them the names you want and they create the station signs you want. They also create other station signs that can be used and notice boards. The station is still not totally complete. The signs are still only blue tacked down until I'm convinced they're in the right place and ready to fix them. There's now extra walling along the front of this back seam, which has terraced houses on it. And the rest of the station is beginning to look quite good, I think. There's the Metcalfe kit from the Settle and Carlisle line. And then the previous video showed a Metcalfe footbridge, which if you've watched that video, you'll know I wasn't totally convinced was right for this station, so I invested in one of the ratio plastic kits, one of the ones that have been around forever, and they openly admit that the mouldings are not particularly good, but it was quite simple to build. And I came across some red primer spray paint in a cheap shop up the shopping street in here, and I simply built it and sprayed it completely with this matte red, and it doesn't look too bad. At least it covers up the plasticky bit, and I think that probably fits this station better than the larger, more cumbersome almost Metcalfe footbridge. So this side of the station, we've got the platforms in place. I've managed to secure two small lengths of station platform fencing, but I need to locate the fencing for the two ramps at the end. Using the scatter material mats that you can buy to create these areas on this side of the line. And I've actually, for once, used these mats on the vertical face of the cliffs. I'm quite pleased with this field down below here, as we've used various scatter material, but I'm not convinced yet that the cliffside doesn't need more material, more growth, more roughing up really, to make it more realistic. I've now created a tunnel mouth under the station at the end of the level crossing. This has been created from the tunnel mouths which I'd originally bought to go over the top of the railway, but didn't work because of the curvature of the track. And I've also cobbled together some other bits from those tunnel mouths to make a slightly different tunnel mouth here for the train to travel under this corner of the station area. The continual problem, of course, is to check the clearances, which is why there are a couple of carriages there that are used to sweep round. This was particularly true using the Pico flexible fencing around this area as well. And I've used that Pico flexible fencing to provide a bit of variety down along the other side as well. Not sure what these fields are going to be used for yet. I've bunged a small shed there, might put some animals in there. I've put the second Metcalfe slide play area piece of equipment there, and I might well turn this into a bit of a children's play park from which they can watch the trains as well as exercise themselves. And then moving on beyond Biscuiton, what a name that is. I blame my daughter and grandson for that name. The small goods siding at the end of this station, and then the other side I have fixed in place the Metcalfe low relief terraced houses. One or two cars arriving, need to get hold of some more, and that will develop into a little bit of a shopping area there, and corner shop, some more terraced housing there, and inevitably more of the line side fencing to insert. I must admit I'm getting a bit fed up with drilling holes and fixing that in place, but there's a whole lot more to do yet before we even reach the end of the branch line, which we're still thinking of names for, but it's probably going to be called something weird like Cookie Hill. Yes, quite. I've had to model below the branch line as I've worked my way along. Obviously you can see there, and I'm playing currently with the Metcalfe buttresses as to how they might be used in this area along here, and then eventually along this part of the layout I'm going to use the Metcalfe arches, maybe put some shops underneath those as well. But that's into the future. Not sure how much more will be done this year before it gets too cold out here in the garage to actually work with without frozen fingers. As I mentioned, using the Scenic mats for vertical parts of the layout. Still not totally sure whether it works or not, so that may well change as we develop the layout. There you go. Hope you've enjoyed seeing where we've got to, and hopefully it won't be too long before we get some more work done.